Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, and this is Technical Analysis. This is an update video of KNDI Technologies and BIDU. I was going to also update CNA and SoFun, but I've talked about those on recent videos, like last night on the stock market analysis where I talked about it because we got trade ideas on those. We're in trades on those. So we're going to just focus back on KNDI and BIDU. We'll deal with KNDI first. And we talked about KNDI on July 31st. That's when I did the first video on it. And I've got a little correction to make here on the weekly chart. For whatever reason, the weekly chart only had data the first time when I did it back to like 2009. And actually KNDI's been trading since December 2007. And you can see its very first week it closed at $4.07. And then it got all the way down here at the bottom of the financial crisis to 44 cents. So low of 44 cents, closed to 66 cents. So literally it lost about 90% of its value. Pretty dramatic. Of course, a lot of stocks got killed in that financial crisis that we had. So I'm calling this as wave one up, primary wave one. And it looks pretty clear. I think we got a 1, 2, 3 sharp pullback, 4 here, and 5. And then we see a we get in here, you can see this like a 3-wave A, B, 5-wave C. So we've got this little flat, comes back to the beginning. You can see how this goes all the way up to the beginning of A, B, and C. So this is wave 2. And now I believe we're in this wave, we completed this wave, primary wave 3, and we've corrected wave 4. Now, you initially look at this, and I've talked about this before, you kind of look at it and say, well, has wave 4 corrected enough? And I mean, when you take off the semi-log, you can see that it's corrected a substantial amount in here from the high all the way down. And it's actually of this wave from here, from 2 to 22, what is that, 20 points? This has corrected about 50% of that move. So, good substantial correction. I think that's plenty for a wave 4. It definitely satisfies the minimum in here. And here's the other thing, was when you look at the type of correction that we got, this was a complex and long drawn out, or drawn out flat. This was a very short and quick sharp. And that's my take, that we're still doing, that we're calling this a wave 4. So if this is a wave 4, now the reason I've got a question mark in here is because it almost looks, it looks like an A, B, C, but it also could be just 5 waves, and this could be some kind of B wave. And the reason I have that uncertainty is because when I look at this wave structure in here, it looks very complex and convoluted instead of a fifth wave. So I am wondering, is this a B? Kind of thing. But be that as it may, let's forget about the Elliott wave counts for a minute. Okay, let's just look at it from a technical standpoint. Let's look at the indicators. On the RSI, this trend line has broken, okay, and it broke it here, and it's pulled back. The other thing, we got this move up in here. We tried to go long, and then we pulled back. I got stopped out, and I ended up having a profitable trade on the options because we got profit on the first half. We got out first half here, and then second half was stopped out at 0. But now we seem to be breaking down in here, and we've broken this trend line here. We've got this other trend line over here. So the real question is, are we going to continue to break down? We have to watch. Today it's 10:40 in the morning Dallas time, and KNDI's trading up 10 cents. So it's not doing a whole lot, 17.62 right in here. So it's continued to being below this trend line. Now, if it reverses and breaks this trend line here, then there's a good chance that we have a little cup and handle that might form here on the daily and it get a pop-up. But I don't think this fifth wave has got far to go. I really think that it's probably going to be up around 25 or something like that if it goes. But that's a big if, and we got a lot of work to do before we get to that. So right now, that's my best assessment on KNDI. Looks like we're possibly breaking down here, breaking trend lines, and this could be, again, a part of a bigger correction that's going on. And let me step back to the, and again, the correction, when I talked about the correction over here was long and drawn out. I mean, it was a correction that went from, the beginning of 2010 to the middle of 2011, so a year and a half. Okay, we've only been in this correction since March. Okay, so it's been 5 months, if this is a correction. So we could still come back down and do something, but right now I'm leaning towards this count. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. I don't think there's anything else to talk about here on KNDI. I think we're just gonna have to watch that. Let's go ahead and go to BIDU. BIDU, there's no change in the weekly, no change in the daily, in the count, what I'm seeing. I talked about how I think that this is that we're in a fifth wave, fifth intermediate of a fifth primary. Okay, so the real question is now, where is this fifth wave going to end? That's the $6 million question. Okay, so as we look out up in here, I think I made some projections. I really think this is a very real possibility. This is the top of the fifth wave up here at 230. And but the real question is, do we have 5 waves? I mean, is this one little one here and a sideways one here and it's a fifth? We're just going to have to watch. I mean, it could be that we got something even more complex, or something more going on, and that it pushes to the top of the channel. Now, if it takes out this high, then you got to sit back and say, okay, maybe it is going to the top of the channel. But when I look at these wave counts, if we've got the wave counts right down in here, and this again is a little bit of a question, it looks like a little bit of a leading diagonal. But if we do a projection, if we take this and we look at 1 to the bottom of 2, we say, well, okay, the third wave was a normal wave, 161.8%. Okay, so that's not too bad. So now if you then sit back and say, well, if typically the 2 of the 3 waves are equal, and if that's the case, we've already gone, this is definitely more than equal to 1. So now let's go here and measure 0 to 3 and come back to the bottom of 4, and 100% is right here. So this is where wave 5 would equal. Now if it pushes beyond it, then we get up here at 161.8%, and you could be pushing the end of this line here. So if we push above 5, push above this point, this high, 229.60, if we push above that, then I think there's a good chance that we are pushing all the way up here to 263, that type of thing. So we'll have to watch the wave counts and see what happens. I'm going to go ahead right now and call this the high, and we'll see how this plays out. This hasn't started to break down. I mean, we haven't gotten any closes below the 10-day exponential moving average is the other thing to think about. Let's look at indicators, and the indicators right now are bullish. I mean, RSI is above 50, DI plus is above DI minus, and demand index is solidly above 0. So right now, everything is a green light. I mean, if you're in this, you got to sit back and say, it's not giving me a reason to exit yet. It hasn't broken down. But you just have to know that you are in a fifth of a fifth wave. So we just have to watch it closely. All right, that's my best take on BIDU for an update here on Thursday, August 14th, 2014. This has been Joe for Beyond the Chart. If you felt like this video was helpful, please share it on social media, and if you're not a subscriber, subscribe, and head on over to, if you're watching this anyplace else but on my website, head on over to joehenches.net. We've got a lot of stuff going on over there, a lot of posts and trade ideas page, and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you on the next video.